What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to the Take Canada Back anti-immigration protest rally, and in the same park right next to it there's going to be a anti-hate pro-immigration rally. I thought this was a very interesting situation, and I wanted to go and check it out.
Hi there, everybody. I'm here with
Sandra.
And the first question I'd like to ask you is, what does this protest mean to you?
Oh, what does it mean to me? Well, it tells me people are pretty unhappy with the situation. I can sort of see both sides, but I'm definitely not a fascist, and I think the pro-Canada group is actually using language that is hiding what they're really about, which is anti-immigration. They might be unhappy with the fact that they don't have jobs, or that they don't have the importance that they want in society. I'm not sure. But I would rather see a peaceful discussion. I'd hate having the police actually divide people. I'd rather have a sit down and everybody just talk, but I don't know if that's going to work like that.
And the next question I'd like to ask you is, what's your opinion on the Take Canada Back rallies and all of this sentiment?
Well, it worries me because I think that's how the Nazis did it in Germany, right? They had all the men's groups, guys were working out, they were getting fit for the fascists, and then they were let loose on the cities. And this reminds me of that. So it makes me pretty worried about our young men. Yeah.
And my next question is, what is your opinion on immigration?
Love it, bring it on. My mom is an immigrant, my father's an immigrant, or well, my parents were immigrants. Bring it on. Make everybody a legal citizen, and let the country flourish.
And where did your parents and family immigrate from?
My family is Mennonite, and we came from Ukraine. So during World War II, we left Ukraine and came to Canada as refugees. And we were received very well, because we were white.
Do you think that Canada receives immigrants well?
Not as good as they can. They should. I would like to see way better, faster processing, employ people so that we can get people in here, so we can build a strong country, make up rules, labor rules that are fair for people, whatever color you are, and support the worker, not the big guys. Make the rich pay.
Very good. We agree with you. You're doing a very good job right now.
Okay.
And I'd just like to ask you, what's your opinion on all the rising hateful sentiments on the internet?
Yeah, it's really discouraging. It's ignorant. I think people are not getting their needs met, whatever those needs might be, to be important, to be heard, and so it's going to turn out negative. They come out with hate. Hate is not the way. It's all about love. It really is. Yeah.
Perfect. That has been a fantastic interview. We really appreciate you talking to us. We appreciate everything you've said.
Okay.
And thank you so much for everything.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk. I always love talking.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right.
Hi, everybody. I'm here with
Molly Ladd-Taylor.
And we are at the anti-hate protest here in Christie Pitts Park. The first question I would like to ask you is, what does this event mean to you?
I think it's really important to come out and protest against hate and against the people who were claiming to be for Canada first. This is a pro-immigrant, pro-immigration, and pro-love rally. So I'm really happy to be here. It's pretty friendly, and wanted to be here to support.
Very cool. We're happy you're here to support it. That's very excellent. The next question I wanted to ask you was, what does immigration mean to Canada, like to the betterment of Canada?
I am an immigrant from the United States. I came here in the 1990s. We're all immigrants except for Indigenous people in Canada. And immigration to me means a better Canada. Immigrants made Canada what we are today, and the diversity of this crowd, the positivity is what immigrants do to Canada and to Toronto. I feel blessed to live here and to have raised my children here. Now I'm raising my grandchildren here, and it's an honor, and it's really wonderful. It's made a more warm and welcoming and smart and culturally interesting city and country.
That's absolutely fantastic. Would you like to share any feelings on immigrating to Canada?
This isn't so much my experience of immigrating to Canada because I had married a Canadian, and so I was able to get in that way. But one thing I do know from my friends who are immigrants more recently is it's really hard. I think the Canada First people seem to think that immigrants just walk in and, get stuff, but that is not the case at all. There's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of struggle to get your documentation. Immigrants do job, they work, they pay taxes, they add to the diversity of our community. So I think the main thing is just it can be quite challenging to be an immigrant, especially these days when there's so much anti-immigration feeling, certainly south of the border in my country that is, going crazy, and also increasingly here as well. And I think we're blaming immigrants for all kinds of things that really have nothing to do with immigration. Housing costs, unemployment, all that stuff. It's not about immigrants. Those are other things.
Thank you very much for that. That's very informative. We do really appreciate that. Would you also like to tell us which state you came from?
I moved here from Minnesota, so I got to move south to Canada, which was very fun. I grew up, I went to high school in Rochester, New York. So I lived in a lot of different places. Chicago, no place west of Chicago though. So I lived in a bunch of different places in the U.S. and I love the U.S. I'm really heartbroken to see what's happening to the U.S. and I'm really happy that Canada, it hasn't gone in that direction. And so far it looks like now the counter-protesters outnumber the Canada First protest by a very large margin. And I'm really happy to see that, and I wanted to be here for that.
Very cool. We appreciate your opinions on that as well. Would you want to share some of the negative things happening in America right now?
Well, it's kind of obvious what's happening in the United States. It's just so shocking, the deportations, the mass deportations. Now that's a long history in the United States. There were deportations in the 1930s during the Depression of Mexican Americans and so on, but nothing to this scale. And the way the anti-immigrant and hateful rhetoric in the United States, anti-LGBTQ, anti-trans, really pretty much anti-everybody except for this small coterie of people who actually walk in lockstep with the MAGA movement. So it's a very hateful time. I think as a mother and a grandmother, it's kind of shocking when you think, you try to raise your kids to, be nice, be kind, to treat others as you would want them to treat you. It's hard to imagine how much success the cruelty that we see south of the border is getting, and I really fear that could come to Canada. I don't think it's here yet, but it certainly could be, and we need to watch out for that. We need to nourish the diversity of our country and appreciate what we have.
That is very true. We do agree with you on that one. You've been actually a very wonderful interview guest. No, not very boring, very informative. A lot of people at home, they may not be as knowledgeable on a lot of subjects that we are talking about right now. So when you share your knowledge, it helps people learn, it helps people grow. They're having a whole chant behind us, which is very cool. And I just wanted to say thank you, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Hey everybody, I'm here with
Chris.
And first question I'd like to ask is, what's your opinion on this event?
It's not what I expected it was going to be when I arrived, but I think it's a good event. It sees both sides kind of clashing, and I think open debate and discussion is good. So.
And what were you expecting when you first came to this event?
Well, honestly, I thought this event was going to be more one-sided towards, I guess, the right. But now seeing that it's both, there's no problem. I think it's kind of an open discussion. And yeah, I think it's a good event.
Do you think that open discussion is important for people to understand each other better?
100%. 100% open discussion is the most important thing. I think both sides are open to their opinion, the right and the left, and I think that discussion and debate is the only way that you can come to a compromise.
That's fantastic. And I just wanted to quickly ask you, what is your opinion on this? Do you think that immigrants are helping Canada? Do you think there's too many immigrants? What do you feel?
Well, I feel the country is built on immigration for sure, but at this point in 2025, I think we've gotten to a point where we have more temporary workers, and when there's like an 8% unemployment rate in Ontario. So I think it's too much too fast to some degree, but I do think that immigration is what's built the country at the end of the day.
Do you think immigrants taking all the jobs at Tim Hortons is a problem?
Definitely to some degree. I think immigrants should get jobs at Tim Hortons, but maybe not the whole staff, you know?
Very cool, and that's been an absolutely wonderful interview, and thank you so much.
This is going to be me. Say hello to Prime Minister Banerjee. Prime Minister, I am your next leader. I am the one, and I am going to lead this country to justice and liberation under Hinduism and the concept of peace and Hinduism. Hinduism is the way of. Both sides agree on that. They don't agree on anything else, but they agree on that.
Can I say something? I want to say Trump is a lizard person.
Is a what?
Is a lizard person. Can I say Trump is a lizard person?
If that's all you're going to say.
That's all I'll say. Trump is a lizard person. Do not trust him. Thanks a lot, man. You're fucking awesome.
I don't know what a lizard person.
Hi there. I'm here with
Christian.
and we are at the protest right now. What do you think of this protest?
I think it's rather interesting ground because, where we have the two sides, because, I've actually, checked out both sides. I went all the way back to, the counter-protest side, and I pretty much got a feel of what was going on over there. And, with respect to what they're there for, I noticed that, there was they were disrupting these Korean performers that were down there. That's what I noticed, what's going on. So I went to have a discussion with some of the people at the what looked like some of the desks where they set up their stuff. And I basically asked them what some of their thoughts are regarding some of these main issues. For example, there's a main issue going on about youth unemployment, where youths, they're applying for jobs everywhere, but they're just not getting anything back. And I know some of these people, and I know parents of some of these people where, they're applying everywhere and they're just not getting anything. And so it was an interesting discussion with the people I had there. They weren't aware of that, but I was just informing them on some of those issues. So basically, with that issue I talked about, because the problem is when you have a system where have you heard of, for example, the federal wage subsidies? Yeah, see, that's a main issue right there, because we don't really want, because the people, we don't really want our taxes to being used to, it's basically to be used to in effect keep Canadian youth unemployed, because we want basically the employers pay their employees the proper wages, whether we Canadians, and that they should prioritize hiring the Canadians first, because whereas and that's another issue as well, is basically where they have you've heard of the labor market impact assessment stuff. You've heard of that.
Tell us more about it.
So basically that's where they say, so my best understanding of that is that's where some companies will put out like will say that they can't get any Canadians that are applying or willing to work, so they apply foreignly, and apparently like it costs them tens of thousands of dollars to do so. And when they say there's a labor shortage, that is observably could be further from the truth. So unfortunately, there's deceptions at all levels, from the corporate level, at government level as well. And that technically sums it up.
That is absolutely excellent and a very intelligent and informed analysis. I really appreciated that. The viewers definitely appreciated that. I wanted to ask you another question. Could you explain this instrument to us?
So this is basically known as the shofar, which in the Old Testament was basically the horn of Jericho. So it was pretty much used like to symbolically symbolize the voice of God, basically. So it was used to symbolize like the voice of God. Like, it could be used ceremonially, it can be used symbolically, or it can be used like, for example, like ritualistically as well. So, because basically I use this because like to symbolize the sound of the voice of God, basically. So I'm a devoted Christian, not like no denomination, just a Christ follower. So basically, because ultimately, we want there to be proper wisdom and discourse. We don't want, people just yelling at each other, shouting both sides. That's not going anywhere. Or threatening with violence. Because some people will say, oh, let's bring baseball bats, stuff like that. And that's not going anywhere. So the idea is and I saw some police action down there. I don't know what was going on, but I just saw action where the police felt they had to intervene. So it's one of those things where I sound this because the idea is there to be peace, because you don't want because ultimately when people are deceived, ultimately basically Jesus sees them as part of the mission field to bring the gospel, because in the end it doesn't matter your political views on this, comes down to, if you know Jesus Christ or not. That's how it comes down to. It's not really your political views.
So you're trying to spread peace using the symbolism of God, and the peace is the peace of Jesus Christ?
Oh, yes, definitely. Absolutely, yes.
And would you say Jesus Christ is important to you in your life?
100%, yes.
100%.
Because some people say, oh, you need Jesus to go to heaven. 100% I agree, but I also say you need Jesus to cross the street. Because it's for example, because if you're just walking in your own strength, you're just, sure, you can mimic Jesus if you want, but if you're just walking in Jesus' ways, if someone gets angry at you, swears at you, you just reflect the character of Christ. Even Christians can fall that way. Biblically, the greatest men of God have fallen short that way. So that's why I say, yes, you need Jesus to go to heaven, but you need Jesus to cross the street or to go across the field even.
So you're saying that all the protesters here and all the viewers at home would benefit in their lives if they acted and behaved just a little bit more like Jesus?
Absolutely, 100%, because he taught us the perfect way how to live. For example, where he says, for example, love your neighbors. Because I saw an actual online meme of this. It's not in the Bible, but I saw an online meme where basically it said, it shows Jesus, like an artwork of Jesus talking to the crowd saying, love thy neighbor, and someone says, who is my neighbor? And then it's the meme basically just says Jesus saying, whoever you were hoping I wouldn't mention. Which is true.
That's a good meme. That's a good meme.
It's not. That part. It's not in the Bible, but it is in line with Christ-like principles. So it's for example, here, you see, even people on both sides, they're just screaming at each other. That's I couldn't be behind.
We really appreciate this interview. We appreciate you sharing your thoughts and giving us a little bit of information. We appreciate your point of view, and I'd like to say thank you.
You're welcome.
And have a great day.
Yes. Is there media outlets or?
The central bank for England! Wake the fuck up! Print unlimited fucking money! Blame our police! Blame farmers! Construction workers like me! These fucking Jews! Print unlimited money!
What's up, everybody? I'm here with
Justin.
And what's your opinion on this protest?
Well, it's interesting, a little bit different than I expected, but a lot of people here to voice their opinions, right? It's nice, peaceful, so far.
And what did you expect, and how is it different?
Well, I expected to see more people here. It's kind of smaller than it looked like it was going to be, but at least it's peaceful. Nobody's causing any trouble or nothing, but it's all right.
Was it larger earlier today? Were you here earlier today?
Not really. It's probably larger now, just more quiet.
That makes sense. And what is your opinion on the subject of immigration?
Well, I think a lot of people here are the same, like they're kind of being painted up as anti-immigration where they're not really. It's more like control, like immigration is good but not uncontrolled. Uncontrolled immigration is bad. You're letting people here without screening properly and endangering Canadian citizens and everything like that. So like, just like some reform, you know, not like these people are being painted up as Nazis. They're not like that. They just want a little more control and responsibility with who you're bringing here, you know what I mean?
Do you think that the term Nazi is thrown around too often?
Yeah. Definitely.
And it's starting to lose a little bit of meaning in that subject?
Definitely. These people aren't Nazis. They just want control over who's coming here. It's always been a thing before where you had to do a screening process when you come here. Like, who are you? Do you have a criminal background? Are you going to be a part of society that's going to contribute to our country? That used to be a thing. Now it's like just bring in the numbers and deal with the labor. That's not good. Like, now we're going to deal with a lot of corruption and obviously bad people getting in here that shouldn't be here. So that's what a lot of these people are here against. Like, let's get this fixed up and continue like immigration like we always have, but do it responsibly, you know what I mean?
And do you think that the giant recent wave of immigration has to do with recent unemployment numbers?
No. I think it's a political thing, like more people, more taxes, and it's too much. Our infrastructure can't handle it too fast. We need to catch up. So slow it down, give it a tune-up, you know, do it more responsibly and let us catch up. Our highways need to be bigger, our healthcare needs to be better. Obviously our economy needs to catch up. It's not good.
That makes sense. And so you would say that like the government needs to use tax dollars to take care of its people more?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely some accountability in the government with what's happening and what's going on, and like everybody sees it. Like everybody goes to the grocery store, everybody fills their cars with gas. It's bad.
And are you a Canadian? Are you from Toronto? Are you born in Canada?
Yeah, I'm from the GTA, but yeah, born and raised here.
And then let me ask you one more question. What comes to mind when I say the word Brampton?
Brampton, India.
Very cool, very cool. And thank you very much. That's been a great interview. We really appreciate your opinion. Have a great day, man. Bye. Hi, everybody. I'm here with
Kaylee and Lauren.
And I wanted to ask you guys, what is your opinion of the protest?
We came a little late, so we didn't get to see the beginning of it. But I think it was an okay turnout. Probably would have been better if someone who spoke their mind wasn't just shot the other day. But I think people might have been a little scared to come. Probably could have been a bigger turnout, but it's okay. Everyone seems to be okay. I heard there was some problems earlier, but everyone seems to be mostly just behaving.
Yeah, it's looking good so far. There's a lot of counter protests as well.
And what is your guys' opinion on this subject?
You go first.
I think immigration can be good for a country when you're bringing in people who are like doctors and they can contribute well. But I see a lot of people who are homeless who were most likely immigrated here. And how did they get here? Other countries make it so difficult to get in there. Like if you look at Australia, if you look at like Japan or even America makes it very difficult to immigrate there. So the people would have good careers and they wouldn't end up on the streets. So I think that it shouldn't be as easy as just floating in a bunch of random people and just hoping for the best. To fill up jobs, like a lot of people I know have difficulty getting jobs in the careers that they've studied for. Even just like low-skill jobs like Tim Hortons or McDonald's, they can't get these jobs anymore because the competition is just so high. They're getting thousands of applicants.
I think it was like no skilled labor. Like people come here and they don't really do like skilled things. And yeah, I think the country's sort of gotten worse with more immigration. I think it's just worse, and a lot of Muslims and stuff, they're not really culturally the same as us, so they really can't assimilate, right? So that's what I think. But yeah, I think immigration is probably not the best thing, like in general. But yeah, something like that.
Would you say that assimilation is a big problem with immigration?
Yeah, especially like Muslims and stuff. Like I'm on the elevator and I'm just getting stared at the whole time. And there's a lot of weird different things, that I see that's like culturally really different. Like, and I don't think.
So you've had issues right now with the integration of certain groups of people?
Yeah, it's usually like that. Yes.
Okay, and the other question I was going to ask is, so you're saying that immigrants taking up all the jobs at Tim Hortons is one of the key issues?
Maybe not. I don't.
Just like a lot of jobs that
no
people
skilled labor. They're supposed to come here and add to the country and add to the wealth, and I just don't see that really. It's usually not
skilled jobs. I know someone who's a microbiologist. She can't get a job. She needs experience, and there's people from other countries, and they are coming in, and they do have experience, but they're taking jobs away from people who have lived here their whole lives and studied here as well. So it's not just jobs like Tim Hortons or McDonald's or whatever, although that's a problem too. Yeah, usually a lot of younger people especially go towards those jobs. They can't get experience, and you need experience to get experience.
And I'd like to ask you guys, what is your opinion on Charlie Kirk and his death right now?
It's like very sad. It makes me angry, and I watch the guy like every day. I'd be waiting for a new video, and I just, like murdering him. Yeah, it's just so wrong and bad. Like I can't. I'm just angry.
Yeah, I think it's pretty terrible. He wasn't even he didn't hold that crazy high opinions. He was considered a moderate by a lot of people. So the fact that he was one of the people that they shot, the guy who went and talked, and he was very respectful in all of his videos. Everyone he talked to, he's like, let's give everyone the chance to speak. Let's be respectful. Even asking his own supporters to respect the people that he had on the stand. I think it doesn't look very good as well. Like, they tell you to speak your mind, stand for what you believe in, and he did that and he got killed. So people are going to be very scared to continue to do that.
Sorry, the microphone does have a short range. I was going to also ask you guys, do you think that his wife and his family witnessing everything that went on adds to making it even worse and in a way amplifies the negativity?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Like, so sad. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, nobody should have to watch their father or husband or son get killed for their political opinions or in any circumstance. And the fact that it's so public, his children are going to grow up and they may see this video, and people can be bullies. Kids at school, I'm sure, will probably send this to them, and it's just not something that anyone should want to see online.
I also just think, he's a hero that basically died for free speech. I mean, when you get killed for saying what you believe, then that's a pretty scary world to live in.
Anyone on any side should be disappointed that this is the consequences of free speech. Because we fought for a long time to be able to say our opinions that disagree with him, our opinions that agree with him. We shouldn't be worried for our life because of those, especially when they're not even that extreme. Like a father in the home, that's not extreme. Family, not extreme.
Would you say that you guys align more with conservative values?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. And I just wanted to ask you guys one more question, okay? Are you guys Canadians?
Yeah.
Are you guys both from Toronto?
Yeah, like our grandma lived in Cabbagetown, our great grandma lived near here, like all Canada. All from Canada.
I just wanted to ask you guys, what comes to mind when I say Brampton?
Rich, I guess, and sort of disorderly.
High crime rates.
Yeah.
If you look at the Toronto crime map, it's all in Brampton area.
Very cool. And thank you guys for the interview. You've been very wonderful, very supportive and helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate your opinions.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm here with
Daniel.
And Daniel, I want to ask you, what's your opinion on this protest today?
Honestly, it's a protest. People have the right to express themselves as within the Canadian Constitution. I don't agree with the anti-immigration, anti-whatever thing, because to me, you're limiting what is possible. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people have immigrated to Canada and made this place so much more beautiful and better. Because let's face it, do you like, say, Korean food?
Yes.
So if no Koreans ever came to Canada because of this type of movement, will we have Korean food?
No.
So I mean, come on. Can we at least get along and sit down and agree, you know what, there's certain aspects of food that we love about this culture and actually learn about that and accept that if if that culture didn't come here, we wouldn't have that amazing food. But I can also see certain aspects where people are feeling hurt because after 10 years of a government that appears to have done nothing but damage the economy, damage things, you have people that feel hurt, that feel left out, that feel excluded. And this is a boiling point for that in particular. And of course, with everything, cause and not cause effect. If you have one force, you'll always have a diametrically opposed other force. Physics thing. And that's kind of where I'm at on it.
So you're saying that the more extreme one side gets, the more extreme the other side will get by opposing forces?
Yes, that by very nature. Where, I guess maybe to limit it down here, if I shove you, you're going to want to shove me back. And the more we escalate, the more worse it's going to get. Rather than maybe sitting down and go, okay, I was wrong for saying maybe I was wrong for shoving you, or I had a particular reason, whether it's right or wrong. And that's kind of where we get to there.
If you shoved me, you're much bigger than me, I would run away. But I do agree with you, and I see your perspective there. So would you say that the waves of diversity and immigration into Canada actually help Canada?
Overall, yes. Because there are larger forces at play where Canada actually does have to grow its population in order to be sustainable over the next century. Now, unfortunately, because we are pushing so hard to actually have that sustainable population, building our infrastructure did not keep up with that. So that's why you have people that feel hurt, that left out, where prices of rent have come up, and then people get upset. You have people that go, wait, I'm seeing large cultures that I don't understand and seem very alien to me and my knowledge and what is around me. I don't like that. It's the human condition. Again, I'm not saying that personally as myself, but as a general person. And unfortunately, if you don't have contact with another group and you have no frame of reference, no understanding, no other ability to, I'm not going to say communicate because if we all speak English, there's a lot of communication, but you have no point of reference for them, you automatically fear them because they're different from you, they're strange from you. You don't necessarily know what to do, and then some people, again, get very defensive and wall up, as we see on one side. And of course, you'll have others that say, hey, welcome, let me hear your story.
That's very good. And it is important to hear people's stories and to accept people and to integrate them. And I wanted to ask you, you said that people are frustrated by housing prices. Do you think that immigration is causing the housing price increases, or is it a coincidence, or what do you think is happening?
It is a factor in it. Is it the main cause? No. Again, over the last several decades, housing has been an issue. We can go back as... Oh, yeah, bud.
One sec. I have to cut this whole section because that's copyright.
Oh, okay. Good point. We'll wait for him to go off of this thing.
He might be more stationary than we expect. He'll descend into the crowd. Yeah. Here, let's take a step back this way. All right, I'm going to ask you again. What did I just ask? Okay, so you just said that housing prices are a serious point of contention. Do you think that the immigration is contributing to the raised housing prices?
It is a factor of it, but it is not the main factor. What I think it truly is the fact that over the last several decades, we have not built enough. We didn't think far enough in the future, because if you build just enough housing for the current population and then you add a whole bunch more, then you're not planning for the future, you're not planning for more. An example of, again, when infrastructure and engineering is done right, is actually the sewage tunnels in London. They were built at over twice the size for what was needed in London in the 1800s when they were built. Yet they're still in service today because the engineers that built it factored in a larger population growth potential. So that's what actually causes a lot of problems in here, because we didn't factor that in. You can see that with traffic, even in driving on the highways. They weren't built for the amount of people that are here. They were built for the amount of people at the time. And if we don't do future proofing, this is part of what happens.
So you're saying that future proofing is one of the most important things that politicians and city planners should be doing?
Very much so. Because if you, again, plan for only what is now, you're not anticipating, and you're not dealing with what is potential in the future. and then you create these problems that come to bite you in the ass. You can take a look at, say, even the Romans that believed in future-proofing, where the idea of planting a tree today so that your grandchildren can sit in it.
My grandfather actually planted a pine tree when I was born, and it is now taller than a building. So I think that is a very great idea. And I just wanted to ask you, do you think that a lot of the unemployment right now is also being caused by immigration, or is that also a mixture of factors?
It is very much a mixture of factors. Again, you take a look at the rapid development of technology, even AI, you're losing jobs to AI because who needs a person that can type at X number of words per minute and do up a document when you can have the computer do it for you for cheaper? That person will have a job, and we're slowly taking those people and trying to get them skills that they need in order to go into the next future job. Oh, sorry, sir. And that's what's important. And yes, again, you increase the population. Again, some of the people that come here have skills that we actually need. Some people don't. And that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be here by a measure. They can, again, adapt, grow the skills needed, and so forth. But it does put a strain on the system.
That makes a lot of sense.
Guys, let's all order a pizza. We can all get pizza. We get all kinds of options. Guys.
TNN, 777 News Network, Toronto. So what is going on here? Do you have any thoughts about this event?
Well, right here, we are having a protest in Canada, a Take Canada Back protest by the Conservatives.
Okay.
But we're also having a counter-protest by the left-wing people. That's an anti-hate protest.
Okay, so have you ever heard any views from both parties, both sides?
I've been talking to people today and going around, and I have been taking in a lot of opinions, and it is a very mixed bag of opinions. It's very, very mixed.
Okay, so do you think it's about 50-50 or one side is more than other?
There is definitely more left-wing anti-hate protesters here than right-wing protesters, but maybe that just shows the political bias of Toronto. I don't know.
The way this was advertised, I was expecting a lot bigger crowd. Do you have same opinion? Were you expecting more people?
It was much bigger earlier today when I first got here.
Oh, okay.
But it has died down.
Okay.
Earlier, I saw a block of radical right-wing Take Canada Back protesters.
Okay.
And they were almost clashing with what looked to be a wall of cops.
Okay.
It was very crazy. There's been a few fights.
Okay.
It has been just nuts.
So who instigated the fight? Anti-immigrant people or pro-immigrant?
I have no idea. When crackheads start cracking out, I don't know. But some of them were radical politicals, so maybe that was the problem. When I saw the fight, I wanted to get out of there and not necessarily get involved. So I don't know who started or how it happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time. This is Therese, TNN 777 News Network, Christie Park, Toronto.
Fucking bullshit.